Tom and Jack having the crack. No Tom here today, but that does not mean he's not having the crack. Somewhere he's on his way to LA, so I'm sure there's crack to be had in LA. I've never been to LA before, but
You have not?
have you been to LA, Mark?
I have, yeah.
Anyway, just I'll introduce you. This is Mark O'Keefe, comedian, Cork man, and all-round nice guy. You've been to LA, Mark. What was it like?
It was shit.
That's what a lot of people. Well,
It was good crack.
it was good crack.
Going into the theme of the show, it was good crack.
Crack.
But it's not, you think Hollywood's, it's whatever you've seen growing up on TV, but when you get there, it's ground zero for fucking poverty.
But where did you go to West Hollywood?
I went to where they put all the names on the pavement. I went to a strip club just about, literally off that, during the day. And it was very funny, right? There was like about 8 of us. And there was a couple of girls with us and stuff. And we were like, all right, we'll get a stripper, because it's 2 p.m. That's very funny, isn't it? Lads having the banter.
Yeah.
And then there was the chick behind the bar. She looked like a vagrant, eye patch and shit. And we were like, can we have a lap dance? She was like, yeah. And then we were like sent to the room. And then she comes out and starts hobbling around. Oh, it was great crack altogether. We gave her some tips.
That sounds very grim. But did you go to the Viper rooms and places like that?
No.
See, I have a friend who lived in LA for a while, and he basically said, because everybody who goes to LA says, oh shit, I thought it'd be better. And he said that the only place to hang around in LA is like West Hollywood, where the Viper rooms is. And he said that part is amazing because you go to all these clubs and it's like, this is where, Red Hot Chili Peppers used to
Is that where
play.
River Phoenix died of a heroin overdose?
Yeah.
That's the kind of place I'd want to go and see.
And it's where all those venues, where all those bands like Guns N' Roses used to play and stuff like that. You're in music, Jonathan. Have you been to Hollywood?
Yeah, I have. I know what you're talking about.
And have you been to that part with all the
Whiskey A Go-Go.
Whiskey A Go-Go was the Doors, isn't it?
Yeah.
But Jim Morrison used to get fucked up.
Yeah, so you didn't go to any of that part of it?
When you're fucking 20, you don't have any fucking sense of culture at all. Oh, we get fucked up. All right, we were drinking with homeless people and stuff. We thought we were having
great crack.
Yeah, it was like straight to Hollywood, just having 40s with the bums. We tried to go to Compton. That was the plan. We wanted to go to Compton to get a picture with the sign, and the taxi driver wouldn't take us there because he was probably seeing the cut of us, and he was like, "You're an idiot." Like,
you'll get killed.
Yeah, but we love Dr. Dre and shit like that, and fucking Snoop Dogg. So
yeah, so you'll be getting robbed, and you'll be like, "Hey, but lads, I love that."
Yeah, I'm a fan, like, innit?
Yeah, Jesus Christ. So you're drinking with the homeless people. So we're going to tell you, Mark, this kind of like a bit of an Edinburgh-ish sort of special podcast. That's kind of what we're doing now. We're asking people, when was the first Edinburgh you went to?
2019.
That was the first one you went to?
The one I met you at, originally,
yeah. That was your first one?
Yeah.
Jesus, you seemed like you knew the ropes at that stage.
I say I met you 3 weeks in, so I felt like an old dog at that stage.
Yeah. And you ran a couple of shows that time, did you?
2, yeah. The exact same I did this year.
Same with Richie.
With Richie, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right. Jesus, I remember meeting you at that, and I thought you fucking knew exactly what you were doing.
Did you not see me bombing nightly trying to host that drunken room?
No, but you were getting people in. You were getting money in the bucket. The hard part of Edinburgh is getting people in.
Yeah, I don't know. Richie's good at
marketing, isn't he?
Marketing and kind of talking to people and shit. So I mean, I was just his
assistant.
Fucking assistant, yeah.
You were his Robin to his Batman.
2019, I was into my hair, I was into my abs, I was barely doing jokes. I was wearing sleevelesses and I'd have my fucking hair moosed and shit. And then I go up there and fucking bomb. I was a bigger alcoholic then than I was this year.
Yeah.
I mean, I can
a bigger alcoholic with the abs. You didn't bomb every time I saw you. I don't think you were bombing.
Edinburgh, like when you get a hang of the room after a while. But I don't know, I like drunken crowds anyway. That's like, doing comedy in Ireland and stuff. That's what you're dealing with.
That was the Late Show. When did you do your first ever gig?
Ever. Oh, it was Dublin. Hey Penny. So You Think You're Funny. Is that the competition?
That's the competition.
That one. I did that my first gig, 2014.
So that they do a heat in
They do
Dublin?
a heat. I imagine they still do. I don't know, but they did then. And I'm just thinking that anyone listening to this is like, these two fucking paddies.
Go on.
Fucking different tempos.
Fuck them.
I did that gig as my first one. I think people do that. They're 7 years in. They still try and do that.
Well, there's a rule that you have to be performing less than a year.
Yeah, people break that for sure, don't they?
I think a few people have bent it, but I've seen people who've been kicked out who've got by, got by a round, and then other people have been like, they've been doing it a bit longer than that, you know. I think people kind of sort of say, like, I suppose the year you start. I think the shrewd thing to do is the year you start is maybe not do it that year and do it the following. You might get away with it. So you've done
that makes sense. Yeah,
done it about a year and a half. To be honest, I remember doing it. And I didn't know anything about it, and I didn't think anything of it. Like,
did you do that?
I did it in Angel one night. Yeah, I did the opening, the first heat. Like, I didn't get through.
How many years in were you?
A couple of months.
Oh yeah, well you were playing it honestly.
I was playing it honestly.
I was the most honest. I did it as my first time on
ever
stage.
Gig. Yeah.
And not only that, because I live in Cork and shit.
Yeah.
So I had to go to. It was good to go to Dublin because I didn't want anyone to know what I was doing. You know.
Didn't stand up.
No, I brought a friend with me. You know.
And when was that?
It was June 2014.
And how did the gig go?
Oh, let me tell you, I had an idea of what stand up was. You know.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was funny. You know. Still do, to be honest.
Yeah.
But you know what it's. You think whatever you say in your head doesn't sound the same when you're on stage.
You're on stage, and you probably did this thing. I did this thing when I first started. I sort of thought that stand up was something like you're good or you're not good. Like, it's like a baby. You throw them into the water and it just swims. I didn't realize it's something you kind of have to learn how.
Oh, I thought you just riff.
Yeah.
I thought you just riff your ideas out. I got the bus up there and I drank like 4 or 5 cans on the bus and I was nervous, so I took 2 or 3 Xanax. And the gig was at like 2 p.m. or some shit. I remember upstairs. Have you been to the Halfpenny?
I've been to the pub, but like when I was a teenager. That was the pub. When I was like 16 or 17, that was, if you were going up to Dublin for the day, that was the pub that would serve you.
Yeah, they serve you and they overcharge you as well.
Yeah, but that was all I knew. So I probably haven't been there since I've been of legal drinking age.
Yeah. No, it is a staple, you know, right across from the bridge. And yeah, I was pretty fucked up, you know what I mean? I was goosed.
And Annie.
Oh, I remember they called my name up and I was trying to get out of my seat and everything felt slow motion because I suppose it was my mom's pills. I don't know what they were. You know, I just thought I'm funny when I'm drunk, but I'm nervous. So if I take some sedatives,
that would help.
That would make me so class. And I was like, everything was slow motion getting up, and I stumbled up there, and I just fucking slurred. And God bless us, there was other comics on the show that were laughing. They were laughing, whatever. Laugh at me, laugh with me, but make a noise. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I'm sure she lit me after fucking 3 minutes or some shit like that. But I was like, I got some rush, like, you know what I mean?
It sounds like the scene out of, what's that Leonardo DiCaprio scene?
Yeah, exactly.
That kind of thing.
Yeah, The Wolf of Wall Street.
The Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah.
I'm going to guess you didn't go through.
I didn't go through. I remember going down the stairs going, maybe there's a chance. I thought I was like setting some sort of fucking Jim Morrison fucking vibes. Like I was like, oh, he's off his face. Who knows what he could do? But it's just a drunk man on stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
No business being near a microphone at all. Then afterwards, I went to see Arcade Fire and I never even knew who they was. You know, that was the first time I saw. So that's always attached with stand up to me.
Oh, that's mad, yeah. And were they big? The Arcade Fire.
Yeah, they were
always
big. They were huge back then. I didn't know who they were at all. Now the guy's in trouble or something.
Well, yeah, they're
the lead singer.
Yeah, at least, but they're still playing.
Still great band,
and the other thing is kind of funny about it is they're a very, I would say Arcade Fire would have quite a woke audience.
Yeah.
You know, so
definitely.
there's a lot of, I suppose, cognitive dissonance going on in the fans of Arcade Fire now.
Oh no, the Reddit's pretty funny. There's people like they're heartbroken. I'm like, he's just sending pictures of his penis. You know what I mean? Fucking get over it. Like.
Is that what he was doing?
Yeah. You shouldn't do that, I guess. I don't know. You don't like. I don't think he raped anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. Am I standing up for a band because I like their music? Is that a problem?
Well, but this is I think this is the thing that happens to everybody. Like you remember, you see all the people who be campaigning outside the court case for Michael Jackson and stuff like that.
I think he's innocent.
Do you?
100%.
No way.
I fucking swear to God he's innocent.
But that's if you never heard it. Why? Because you like his music.
I mean, that's a part of it.
Yeah.
No, there's more. That is, he was a cash cow for anyone. You just have to. As soon as someone accused him, it was like. That rodeo started. There's no solid evidence.
Yeah, but he
I don't want to go down this road.
But he had admitted himself that he slept in the same bed as them. Like he shouldn't be doing. Like definitely, that's a red flag. Like you shouldn't be sleeping in bed with children. You shouldn't be sleeping in bed with your own children. Never mind children that aren't yours. Like you know what I mean. And he's like saying he's like you know if he was if he was living in your town or village or his neighbour,
He would have been the pedo.
and he was in the pub and he was saying, "Listen, lads, I didn't touch the kids, but they did sleep in my bed." Like, you would not be giving him the kind of leeway you're giving him because he was good at music.
What about love without sex? You
Huh?
know, a love without sex, a platonic love for a child.
Yeah, it's just
That
like,
he was fucking stuck in his head as a kid.
yeah, but
God, I am fucking backing him up here.
You're backing him up, but you can be stuck as your head as a kid all you like, but there's a physicality and there's a physiological to an adult's body that does.
Am I defending a paedophile here?
Yeah. Right,
I don't know. It's fucking great music.
Bit ready to put out, guys.
So yeah, I think that with the Arcade Fire thing, I think it's the same type of thing. I think it's definitely a thing in psychology that we don't like. We find it hard to accept the crimes of people we like.
Yes, I would agree.
Yeah, that has to be. A thing for everybody.
Yeah, I guess the bigger the talent, the harder it is to
accept.
But you can be talented and a nonce. I guess that's just pity. Like fucking Prince Andrew has no talent. Does he have a talent?
Well, I've never met him, so I don't know. To be honest,
I'm gonna start standing up for him next.
for Prince Andrew.
My mate Andy.
Well, they used to say he was very good at courting business to Britain. You know, when politicians will go to other countries and they meet business leaders and stuff, and they're trying to convince them to invest in the country. Seemingly, Prince Andrew was quite good at going to those meetings and charming people and helping.
Basically, being good at being in a bar. Being good at chatting.
Yeah.
I guess that's a talent. I mean, there's
it's a talent.
There's alcoholics on the street here that would nail that if they were in a position to do it. You know.
I think you're being too fair to the alcohol. Like, you also have to convince the people to spend the money to bring it into the.
Yeah, I'll bring you on holidays with my mate fucking Jeff.
So anyway, this is your first gig, right? How long till your next gig?
It's 6 or 7 months.
6 or 7 months.
Yeah, I moved to Canada. Vancouver, and I started doing stand-up there, open micing there.
And had you always thought about doing stand-up?
Yeah.
Always?
Like every Irish comedian, everyone saw like Tommy Tiernan live, that DVD.
And thought, I can do that.
I was like, that's class.
Yeah. I was the same now. Tommy, like, I would definitely say if Tommy Tiernan didn't exist, I don't think I'd be doing
I think there wouldn't be as many people doing stand-up from our generation, you know.
Because, he really was like, obviously there was other Irish comedians, but like no one, you know, you're not going to meet an Irish comedian now who was like, well, I saw Brendan Grace and that was it, like, you know. There was no turning back for me.
There was no one else that didn't really leave the country, you know, the way like Dylan Moran did and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, Tommy stayed he became massive within Ireland, but also globally he was able to, like, everyone else left for England or the US or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a very, he kind of put, well, I suppose Jason Byrne is similar. He didn't really leave Ireland.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's as big as
Patrick Keelty.
All right,
there's a few, but like he became a superstar.
I think Tommy can sell out like a town hall in fucking any place.
Anywhere, he can sell out Longford, like
exactly.
You know, he can sell out unbelievable places, like. So you went to Canada then, and you started doing the open mic. in Canada.
And I just like became a massive piss head, and just there they do sign ups. You know, you just sign up for the open mic, so you can just like open mic like 5-6 nights a week. And I liked boozing, and this is like getting drunk, but you were being an artist.
Yeah,
you know, I didn't feel like
it's a nice
just
cover.
being a disgusting alcoholic. I felt like you had a cover, yeah.
Well, all art is a smokescreen for alcoholism.
That is true.
Well, no, I don't think all, but to an element. And you know, okay, this system where you just go, you sign up. I think they did have it here for a while, but it's sort of.
It's a bit more chaotic, you know.
And would there be much of an audience?
Yeah, there was at some places. Some places it just depends on the location of the gig, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's got like heavy pedestrian, like, you know, that's Vancouver's a touristy enough town.
Is it? Yeah.
Or people come in the weekend to party and stuff. You could. There was
audience.
There was audiences. Yeah. I mean, there was ones that there wasn't. I liked dive bar ones. You know, that had regular just alcoholic audiences.
Yeah.
They were good because they were on the level. Because I was drinking, they were drunk. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was like. That's where I feel like
that was where you fit in. And how long were you in Vancouver for?
2.5 years.
Okay. Yeah. And then back to Ireland.
Nah, from there I went back to Ireland for a little bit. I started gigging then in like city limits, you know, in Cork.
But that's a big club.
Yeah.
So you did? Was it hard to get in there? Or?
I bombed once, and then he wouldn't fucking accept he wouldn't even reply to my emails for fucking 6 or 7 months. I bombed when I came back from Christmas, you know?
Yeah.
I bought mates, and one of them was a dickhead, and he was just heckling. He ruined the whole show for everyone. I shouldn't have bought him. And then I came back, then I was just open micing so much that when I got back there, you know, I had some like stage chops, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And then I was a regular there for a little bit, and then I went back to Canada illegally, but I had a missus over there. Not illegally.
Yeah.
But not on a working visa.
Visa,
you know?
okay.
And then me and my ex went to Vietnam for a while. I gigged there a little bit, just a couple of gigs, and then I ended up in New Zealand for 6 months. I gigged there, and then I ended up in Australia for a few months, and I was gigging there that was a good place to gig.
In
Melbourne.
Australia.
Yeah,
Whereabouts in Australia?
Melbourne.
Oh, Melbourne.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
yeah. Have you done the festival over there? You have.
I done spots at the festival in 2018 maybe.
Yeah.
And then I went there. I went to do the festival in 2020, and I got stuck there for 6 months.
It was cancelled.
It was cancelled, and I got stuck in Australia.
How would you say the Melbourne festival compares to the Edinburgh festival?
I think Edinburgh's fun. More fun.
More fun than Melbourne.
Yeah.
What about affordability?
I reckon Edinburgh. I mean, you have to travel to Melbourne.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I don't know. I think Melbourne was also. It's like Edinburgh is in its vast. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's hard to get people in. I was flyering there. I was flyering for another comic. I remember. Then this is such bollocks.
Flying in Melbourne.
Yeah. That was for like for like beer money and shit.
Yeah.
It's good. It's good when you're younger, flyering for beer money for a bigger comic and shit. Yeah, I didn't have any faith in his show, and neither did he. I don't think he got anyone in.
Yeah, the flying's hard. So right, back to Edinburgh. What advice would you give someone who's never been to Edinburgh who wants to go? How would you? You have to have a plan, do you?
I wouldn't go with a full show unless you're really good.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd go with a comp show though.
Yeah.
You and a couple of mates have a compilation
show. Yeah.
That's like just using other people's talents to get your bucket full.
To get your bucket full, yeah.
Yeah, that's like businessman shit rather than artist shit.
And then free fringe.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Free fringe, yeah.
Yeah, I felt bad for people doing the big corporate fucking theatre shit because a lot of people seem to struggle big time. They didn't seem to help people, you know. Well, with the free thing, you know you're helping yourself.
Yeah,
you know it's on you.
You'd see some.
I felt like they were just charging people to. I mean, I met an American guy and his show was like fucking way out in a new part of town. He says there's no one there. There's not even a bar. There's not even bar staff on the bar. They just gave me a room and they just abandoned me. They took all my money. I was like, that's fucking mafia shit. Because you're American, you don't know what's going on.
There's a lot of traps, and I think particularly people from the other countries fall into them. Because I saw another American guy who came over. It looks like it looks like he's done quite well in America. But from what I could see, it looked like he spent a lot of money and he was getting nobody.
Yeah, I met some sad North Americans there. The Australians seem to be clued in because they've got festivals there.
So they kind of a bit of.
But the North Americans don't. They don't have a festival a comedy festival culture. Not in the way that it is in Australia and the UK, and then just see them getting fucked in the ass basically. I mean it's because I put them on my comp shows and they'd be like, I'm fucking like 11 grand in the hole, and I'm like, yeah, you made a bad choice.
11 grand.
Yeah, but that might have been US dollars, but it's the same now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the same now. So they'll be coming over now thinking it's with the pound falling, they'll be over now thinking it's worth coming over to Edinburgh now. It'll be cheaper for them.
Yeah, no, God bless them.
So they'll all have pictures of Liz and Quasi up on the door going, only for you, I wouldn't be here. There'd be no one from England there and everyone from America coming over with the cheap
was that your first Edinburgh? I mean, I know you're at the 2019, but you were just doing spots, weren't you?
2019, I think I did 6 days.
Okay, yeah.
And the 6 days was I had a really interesting one because I think the week or two before I went the last time, I just won King Gong in Manchester.
Nice.
And I did a gig in Covent Garden Comedy Club. I remember I had a couple of like big milestone gigs for me at the time before I went to Edinburgh for the 6 days.
Yeah.
And I went up like loads of confidence and just did spots and had a pretty good time and they went well. But I remember just being kind of stunned by the size of it.
Mm.
And also I think I went the last week, and the other thing I couldn't get over when I went there was like I showed up on the last week bursting with energy and enthusiasm, and everyone I bumped into, I know
at the edge of getting sectioned.
Well, they looked like
shit. Yeah,
they looked like they'd fought a war or something.
Yeah.
You know, I was sort of like the guy showing up in Hiroshima or Nagasaki, going, "Hey, come on, let's get some sushi," and everyone's like, "Do you not hear the news?" You know what I mean? Like, place has been destroyed. You know, but so this is my time doing the full run. Like, I enjoyed it, but it's a very strange experience. And I think you go through many different emotions, and there's a real sort of cycle to it, and tiredness catches up with you at times, and the idea that you're kind of gigging every day, you know, it's kind of hard to get a routine. Your routine keeps changing, and I mean, after the first week, I was shit hot, you know? Yeah.
Because I was doing like crowd work and shit, and everything's like fun. And then after 2 weeks, I was bad. And then by the third week, I was shit at comedy. I was just shit at life, like. I was just upset. But I was like, I started drinking like maybe heavily halfway through.
Did you?
Not heavily. I mean, heavily for the size of me, like. But yeah. Because I stayed sober for the start. Not sober, like.
Well, I did.
You know, like.
I joined the gym the first week.
Oh, yeah, I was in the gym.
And I went for 3 days in a row, and I thought, God, now if I do this for the whole month, this will be an amazing month. I'll come back fitter and everything. And then.
What gym did you join?
Joined the gym beside the house, I think it was called.
Oh, you were telling me that.
I was telling you that
because it was convenient, like.
Yeah, it was right beside me, like. But then I started doing some of those later gigs, and that destroyed my routine. No, it just destroyed my routine, because then, like, if you're gigging at 1 o'clock, at night, so you do the gig, then you know there's going to be an hour for the adrenaline to wear off. Take about an hour to get home. But
you want to go for a drink afterwards.
Yeah, you're getting to bed about 3, 4 o'clock.
You want to hang out, like,
Yeah, you're not getting up. It's a tricky one too, because there's a few things you kind of have to balance in Edinburgh. Like, one is you want to do a lot of gigs to get better. You want to have fun as well, because like it's you're taking holiday days off work, so you want to have a bit of a holiday as well. Like, so you want to have a bit of a laugh. And then you're trying to promote and run your own show, which is a level. There's an element of responsibility to that. Like, that's the.
I was very irresponsible when it came to promoting my own shit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a tricky one too. Like, you can definitely have more fun if you don't run your own show.
100%. Yeah.
But the other side of it too is, I think that I learned the most from running my own show, because when you're doing your own show, you get to set the whole tone, the whole atmosphere, the tempo. You get to set everything about the show, so you get to curate it in a way that suits you. Whereas when you're doing other people's shows and compilation shows and everything like that, you kind of have to slightly adapt to how the person running that show is running that show, like. And I think that was the thing that was most sort of enjoyable about running your own shows. We got to set the tempo, and by and large we tried to create like a kind of a party carnival sort of loose enough atmosphere, which when the shows were good was amazing. Like, you know, we had.
But when the show was bad.
Well, the only time it was bad is just when you had low numbers, like.
Yeah.
But we had some great fun, like things like getting the audience to howl and all this sort of stuff. Like, we had a thing where we had a guy next door, Paul Curry, and he would do.
Yeah, he does well.
He does really well, and he packed out. But he does a lot of kind of musical sort of stuff and special effects stuff. And whenever he did it, you would hear it very clearly in our room.
Yeah.
So there was some nights where we had busy rooms or whatever, and when that would start, we would start then going, let's try get them back. So let's start making noise so they'll hear it in their room. And like, some of that stuff was amazing fun. Like, but I wouldn't do that at someone else's gig.
Oh yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, at your own gig, you can take risks, and you can play around, and you can experiment in a way that you just would feel a bit. I suppose
because you're doing a split show as well, but
doing a split show,
I lost faith in my show.
The split show
pretty early,
Why?
I just didn't give a shit about it. It was stupid, like.
Yeah.
Me and Richie took the same shows from 2019, so
right.
we didn't have to upgrade the posters or anything like that. We're being cheap, like. And that show, my split show, that Black Mirror episode with the two lesbians. That's only done in 2019, and then 2022 was that Black Mirror episode with the two lesbians 2. You know,
but you don't have to stick to the material.
No, but the thing was, back in like 2019, that episode of Black Mirror was still, you know, it was. Do you know the
people's
episode?
mind. Go on, no, describe it to me.
It's about two lesbians. It's called San Junipero, and it's like about. It's you know Black Mirror shit.
I've seen them all. So
yeah, it's a nice one.
Right,
it's the one that is like there's a love story to it and stuff.
Right,
and it's got this 80s vibe and it's got this neon.
Oh yeah. I kind of remember the
black
music.
girl and a white girl.
I remember the music and the feel of it more than anything. Yeah.
So that was our show in 2019.
Right.
Where people were like, remember the episode. 2022, that episode is like 7 or 8 years old. So no one remembers. So we got a ton of lesbians, which isn't really the audience. You know, for me and Richie's material. But I just took some pandering. Eventually, it was just like a fucking talk show. When did you come out? What's your parents think? You know, it was. I fucking ran out of fucking just running through fucking paedophile jokes.
And did you get any material out of playing around?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, like crowd work material. Yeah, but actual material that I'll ever use again. No, I made some friends. I made some enemies. But fucking.
Who were your enemies?
I don't know, audience members. Oh, one day so many walked out. And you know, I was in the wee room, right? So that's like a maximum 20 people.
Right.
You know, have you seen the wee room?
Is that Three Sisters?
Yeah, upstairs are Three Sisters.
We're
next to Darius' show, which was packed.
Hating Live.
Hating Live was in that room, but he's the actual, his
own show. Was that in the same room as Hating Live?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it, Jed? Jeez, that's a big room.
So we were just next to that.
Yeah.
And his contract show was on around the same time as us. So,
okay, yeah.
So we were like kind of, everyone was going to that, and then anyone who couldn't get into that would go to fucking our show.
Well, that's the beauty of. I think that was the thing that probably the low ticket sales affected a lot of people, because we had 1 or 2 nights where Paul Curry, too many people showed up to see him, so we got them.
That's good.
And there was one night he didn't do a show, and we got them. And I think if ticket sales were higher, that's where the kind of lesser known acts like us could do well, from people's overspill, you know.
Well, the room was just too small for. I mean, a small room's good, isn't it? But it's. I mean, one time we were bombing so hard, man. It was like hilarious how bad we were bombing.
Yeah.
I was just bombing, like, and I was like, I don't, like, I wasn't even going to try anymore. I was just like, I was self-critiquing. I was critiquing them. I was critiquing life in general and stuff. And then they have to, I was getting walkouts, like, and when they walked out, they had to walk on the stage and like pass me by like a fucking inch, just look them right in the eye. And you think I'd be like, yeah, fuck, you can't handle the edgelord. But I was like, oh, sorry for wasting your time. Yeah. Sorry, it's not what you wanted.
Yeah.
Then the other half of the audience that stayed got to see me have a breakdown, and they fucking loved it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that you could be one of those.
People like true emotion, you know?
Do. Well, I always say about stand-up is, if you're walking down a high street, right, or you go into the tube station now, and someone loses the plot, right, and just starts shouting and like gets angry about something, and it can't contain their emotions, it's so captivating. Like everybody, like people start putting down their earphones. Like everybody wants to. People don't do it because like it's rude to do, but everybody wants to stop.
I love that button on headphones.
Yeah.
And then you're like, I'm gonna listen to this.
But you can see everyone sort of like, you know, it's like when people look, you know, when there's a car crash or something, everyone looks, you know, everyone wants to watch that.
Real life drama is unbelievable, like real life
drama. But I've always thought, like, if you can somehow replicate that vibe and that feeling on stage, like it's brilliant. Like, and I think a lot of comedians, good comedians, like we were saying about Tommy Tiernan, like there was times in the past where Tommy Tiernan did look like he was having a breakdown on stage. You know what I mean? I don't know if he was or he wasn't, but there was times where I think everyone, that was part of his appeal, you know.
Yeah, I mean, it was. Yeah, no, overall, like, it was a successful month for sure. I didn't lose money. A lot of people lost money.
You made money, did you?
I don't know if I would say made, but I certainly didn't lose.
You broke even, yeah. Well, that's very successful in it.
Yeah, I didn't really I didn't crunch the numbers that bad, but at the start when we weren't doing good, I just was really cheap. And then towards the end when we were doing better, because I did a comp show as well, and the comp show
did well.
And the weekends it was crazy, yeah. But it was like a rowdy bar, so it was, you know, that show, if someone bombed, they could fuck up the whole show for everyone. You know,
Well,
you've done that a
bombed.
few times. I don't think you bombed.
But no, I bombed the day there was no one at it. Do you
Oh, that's
remember?
all right. Yeah.
So that doesn't
if
matter.
If someone bombed on the weekend, it was fucking done for. It was so hard to get them back.
You couldn't get them back.
Well, it's a Celtic bar. You know what I mean? They're like, they have like fucking, 4 seconds of fucking. Like,
Well, I think I did 1 or 2 your weekends, and I do remember it was great.
I used to have you opening, you see. Yeah.
And it was great, but it was, you could tell there was a.
They're at the bar, but that's part of it. Like they're drinking, they're at the bar. The bar's in the room. They're looking over. They're ordering points. They're like, you had to like. There was banter going on amongst them, and that's just part of it. Like, which I liked, But like some people were like fucking deer in the headlights, going, "Why are they talking at the back?" And it's like, because that's what it is. Like you gotta win them over by being.
It's a bit of
aggressive, a little aggressive.
It's a bit of a gong show vibe. Like you have to show a bit of command. Like if you go up and you're like looking at your shoe talking, they won't listen.
Yeah, no, I'm representing.
Dropkick Murphy.
He gave me a fucking jersey at the end. The bar staff there were great, and the owners from Cork.
Is that's why he does the thing with the cork? It's a great bar, actually.
Yeah. Oh man, that's why I was turned into such a piss head because it was so cheap,
And is that where will you try get that venue
I reckon
again?
I go back there. Yeah, only because I like the vibe of it.
I and Eddie did his show there during the day. Like
I went to see.
Yeah, I went to see it one day too. I think it was a good setup, certainly for daytime shows.
Yeah.
It seemed to be a good setup, and it seemed to get.
The later it went on in the night, the more kind of a, drinking vibe of a show you need.
Yeah.
There was no way you could do a serious show there at 9 p.m.
Comp has to be.
Yeah. And there was a science show after us. The guys were nice and all that, but I was like, fuck, the vibe in here is like so
rowdy.
Not science.
And did you on the weekend it would fill up without you doing much flying?
We didn't fly for that show at all.
Didn't fly at all.
We got like Robbie.
Yeah.
We got him to do a bit of flying here and there, but that was for during the week. On the weekend it was just busy anyway.
That's serious insider information, knowing that some venues just fill up by themselves.
Shit, we shouldn't be telling people that.
No, yeah, but it's just the percentage of people who want to do a gig, where it can go, where it can fall apart quickly.
You can get your feelings hurt for sure in there.
I had a horrible death in there now. But there wasn't many people there, so it didn't really.
Yeah, well, I think I remember the day you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, there was like 4. How could you even have a death with 3 people?
3 people.
Yeah,
or 4 people spread around the bar and the whole.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, trying to impress the bar staff or something. That's all you could do in a day like that. Like, there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing going on.
It's hard to know how to approach it when it's like that. But I always think you should do something.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You should always do something.
You got to try. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So this was your second ever.
Yeah.
Did you go last year with COVID?
No, my missus did. I didn't.
You didn't go to that one.
No. I wish I did though.
Yeah, everyone seems to be. It was quite interesting because the people who went then did well out of supply and demand. But not only did they do well then, that success kind of ran over a bit to this year because they had
created a little audience for themselves.
They'd created a little audience, like some of the people they were getting audience come back, but they'd also built good bonds and different.
That's what comedy is as well. Like you have to talk to people after the show and stuff. Like.
Yeah, do you like that?
No, I hate it, but I do it.
Do you do
I
it?
don't know. I'm working on people's energy. There's a ton of people like after the split show we'd go for a beer with afterwards in the courtyard, and I was like, I'm friends with like 19-year-old lesbians. Fucking. People I wouldn't, but they were like really,
You'd never
really nice people.
Yeah.
So like, and that was our demographic for the whole month. It was under 25 gay community was a lot of our show. A lot of people that came. Oh, because of our stupid marketing. You know what I mean?
Because of the way you marketed it.
Yeah. I mean, not that we marketed it towards them. It's just it has lesbians in the title, like.
Yeah.
But like, and then those people came back from the 2019 show at 2022. It was mad.
That's incredible.
Yeah, it is. Like people remember you. It's great. We do a lot. We would do a lot of drinking with the audience after.
Yeah.
Just for a minute or two, or have a cigarette with them or something like.
Yeah, it is nice. It is nice to do, and particularly in Edinburgh, you've got a bit more time to do.
I mean, obviously not with a wreckhead. Obviously, someone who's like just ruining the show. You're not going to hang around with them afterwards. Although you know what, I'm a walkover. I probably fucking would.
You would. If they bought you a drink.
Yeah, if they bought me a drink, I was like, you know what, your heckling actually helped the show.
And at the Dropkick Murphy show, did you get much heckling, or was it just people talking to them?
No, there was heckling as well, but it was you could just work with it. It was sectarian football kind of fucking
Celtic
energy in
fan.
there. Yeah, everyone's a Celtic fan. Everyone
That was their common denominator.
that was the thing. Like, yeah, a Celtic fan, Irish families, Scottish Irish. You know, that was always perfect. Like, it was perfect for her.
For you.
Yeah. I just know. I know those people. Yeah, I know what they want. They want jokes and shit. They don't want to hear about anything else.
Yeah, they want a bit of a laugh. Like
They want banter.
And it's
Yeah.
a low attention span.
Low attention span. I wouldn't say low IQ, but like fucking for the nights that are in it, it's all about low IQ. You know what I mean?
Play.
Not thinky stuff.
Well, do you think when you get a group of people together that the collective ID goes down anyway?
Yeah.
Because I'd be what I would like.
I think when you're drinking 6 or 7 points, your ID drops.
Yeah,
by,
of course, yeah.
You know,
So,
a couple of points, like.
If you're sober on your own watching telly, you want something with a bit of an intellectual edge.
Exactly, yeah.
But if you're pissed with a group of friends, it's like,
Dumb shit.
give me dumb shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love dumb shit, mate.
Yeah.
I think it's underrated.
Well, I don't think it is, because I think a lot of the biggest acts are, it's pretty dumb
Oh, shots fired.
stuff, isn't it? Isn't
yeah,
it?
yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Mainstream shit. You know what I mean?
Like, Lee Evans isn't.
I forgot about him.
He's not exactly.
I thought he sweated himself out
he
of
sweats.
existence.
Yeah.
Does he still do comedy?
But also, I think there's a level of. I think you have to be very intelligent to do very simple, dumb stuff.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? I
think
actually think sometimes it takes.
There's nothing worse than seeing someone trying to be smart.
And failing.
Yeah. I mean, you want to seem smart in your audiences and like a kind of, I don't know, when someone uses a big fancy words, but they're not like in the correct tonnage. You know, it sounds out of place.
Yeah, I think Irish humour too. I think in Ireland, I don't think no one in Ireland ever tries to be clever.
I don't
in
know.
comedy.
I gigged back in Ireland for a bit. There's always there. It's everywhere.
But the big acts in Ireland.
The big acts.
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
that's why they're the big acts, because they know the.
But a lot of them are very clever.
Yeah.
Like, you know, you think of someone like Ardla Hanlon, like
think-
the act is dumb.
Do you think comedians are clever in general?
Well, no, but I think Tommy Tiernan's a very clever man. I think Ardla Hanlon's very clever. Like.
Socially.
Yeah,
they're very
they're
clever.
very
Like,
clever
social
people. When you hear them
intelligence,
talking off stage, out of character, they seem very intelligent.
Some people are just savvy as well, though. You know.
But just have a business savvy.
They just know, yeah.
What
I guess that is intelligence.
But that's
to a certain
intelligence.
degree,
Yeah. Giving people what they
Why
want.
do I sound so bitter? What's wrong with me?
I don't know. So what would the future hold? Like, have you any goals in comedy, or have you objectives, or
Nah, just get good.
get?
Get good. That should be your goal in comedy, isn't it? Just to get better.
Yeah, but like if the goal, like you need to have set goal, like you know.
I'm gonna do Perth this year.
This year. When's that on?
January, February.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Oh right. So you'll be going soon. And what's the plan to do? An hour show or?
No, same thing, mate. Comps.
What's that?
Am I ringing in my brain?
I think it is the computer, but
That's the computer.
yeah.
That
I
was-
don't understand these computers, man.
That was a mad noise, wasn't it?
It was gentle.
That was. It was
It tickled
kinda,
my brain.
That was like something you could imagine in a class, you know, where you put on the headphones, you lie down on the ground, and it's like, close your eyes now, Mark, relax. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah.
Do-do-do-do-do-do.
Do you do yoga and stuff, no?
No, I tried to get into it a few times. You do it though, don't you?
I had to quit everything after Edinburgh this year.
Right.
Yeah, so alcohol, drugs.
Yeah.
And now I just do fucking yoga.
But you do yoga every day, do you?
Yeah.
I
I was going to do a class before I got here.
I'd love.
But I didn't. I did about 45 minutes at home.
When you first start, how hard is it when you first start? Because I tried to do a Pilates class, and I gave it a go for, Jesus, I think I went 6 or 7 times. And I was the only, now the instructor was a fella. I was the only guy in the class.
Yeah.
It was all girls. And he would go, right, get your leg, move it there, do that. And I'd look around the room, and they could all do it.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't even get close. Wouldn't.
Nah, you're inside your own head. You just got to try, mate. It's like you can do it. Like, you just do yoga on YouTube, and you can start off with like, I do yin.
Yin.
Yin is when you like hold poses for like 3 to 5 minutes.
Right.
Like I not like balance stuff, more like on the mat. Like it slows down everything.
Right.
You feel high after. I'm always just chasing a high. There's nothing. If it's just I have to give up alcohol or drugs, I'll just find it somewhere else.
So you're a Tibetan monk or a rock star?
I do feel monastic at times. You know what I mean?
Do you? Yeah.
It's one or the other. Yeah.
But should be in the genes, Mark.
I swear to God, I get back into Catholicism if I got a buzz from it.
And why do you think you're always chasing a buzz?
I don't know. I think that's the mundanity of life is fucking killer, isn't it?
Everybody's chasing.
Yeah, I wish you could. I think you have to find some sort of contempt in yourself. Contempt, is that the correct word? Does that mean? That's not the right word, is it?
Contentment.
Yeah, I'm bad at English and shit. And we're all bad at English because it's how long have we been speaking English?
200 years.
Is it 200 years?
Think about 200 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I struggle with English. Did you speak Gaelic?
I did when I was younger. I never liked it though. Like, did you get the gra na changa and all that?
I hated it, but I fucking was sent to. I wasn't sent.
I went to the Gaeltachts. I was sent to loads.
I went to the Gaeltachts, but I went to my high school was all Gaelic. Like,
the whole thing.
Yeah.
How'd you find that?
Impossible.
Yeah.
I think I mastered the language in sixth year when I was leaving.
You got the hang of it then?
Just at the last few months, I think I was understanding. The rest of it, it might have been Chinese. I was getting in trouble for things I didn't understand. I was getting in trouble for.
But I'll explain to the listeners what this is. So a lot of people talk about, a lot of Irish people, when they learn Irish as their second language, because they're learning English, they get this thing called gra na changa, love of the language.
Yeah, love of the language.
And a lot of people say that they never knew who they were, they never felt themselves, they never really understood their identity until they started speaking in Gaeilge, and actually they felt more comfortable, they felt that they were able to express themselves.
That's some revolutionary talk right there.
But that's what people say that, like.
Yeah, no,
I know people who like really believe that.
I know, but I mean the language is fucking so hard.
The Irish language.
It's ridiculous.
But can you speak any other language?
No, I did Spanish for 6 years, but I did Spanish through Irish. So I did everything through Irish, like, so my Irish is bad. So I mean, you're translating one language
to another,
and then to translate to English to understand it was like too many steps for my little brain. I did like art history in Gaelic.
So when you were in your school, you would think in Irish then, would you?
No, I would think in English.
Well, that's your first mistake.
Well, you would have. You think in Irish because you have to fucking answer a question in Irish, and then you're like, fuck. Everyone came from English-speaking school or Irish-speaking schools, primary schools. I came from an English-speaking primary school. So I was in remedial Irish class the whole way through.
At lunchtime, were you speaking Irish or English?
When the teacher was near, you just it was so funny to change language like that
all the time. Yeah,
you'd be speaking English, and then you just change. You'd be like, "Oh, what's going on?" You watch the football, and then the teacher comes on Anaki 2 on Pell.
Anaki 2, did you watch it?
Did you watch? I think.
On Pele.
So it's mad how fucking you don't use a language. And
you lose.
Waste of fucking time, and 6 years, and then I feel it just faded. I might start listening to. I looked up like pop-up Gaeltachts in London. I might go to one or two.
Really?
Come with me.
Well, I'm learning Spanish now soon, starting next Thursday, 10-week course.
Oh, super fantastic.
I'm going to Mexico in
nice
in January.
That's all right.
I was terrible at languages though. Never liked them, never good at them. But so there's a pop-up. I always thought, you know what? I always thought if you had a pub in Dublin that was an Irish-speaking pub,
you do well.
I think it would do very well, yeah.
That's a good idea.
I think it would do very well.
I think it would do well anywhere, actually.
I think if you had a pub in the middle of Dublin and it was basically, you can only speak Irish in this pub.
Just even having this conversation now, I think I was dreaming last night in Oscuelga. You know, like it's still like in my subconscious. Yeah. I was talking to someone in Irish, and because I was going to get in trouble. The teachers were fucking
stricter.
The thing with like all Irish speaking schools is there's a streak of like nationalism in them that they really do resent the history of the country, and when they hear you speaking Osperla, they're like
offended.
They're like fuck you, like.
Well, you know when you go to the Gaeltacht when you're younger, did you do this in the school you went to? Like I remember going to the Gaeltacht when I was a child, and you go for 3 weeks and you have to speak Irish, but we used to march out like little soldiers every morning, and they would put up the flag, tricolour, and we would sing the national anthem, lined up like soldiers, and then in the evening, and like
Cayley every evening.
Well, the Cayley but
that was great.
The Cayley's grand, right? But like the soldier thing, right? Like I just imagine, we're 7, 8. You go from what 7, 8 up to like 16. But like, can you imagine if you were someone from Germany or somewhere and you were driving?
Bad example.
Driving through the Irish countryside, during the Troubles in Northern Ireland, right? and you just see a couple of 12-year-olds marching out like soldiers, hoisting up the flag and singing the national anthem. You'd be like, that's Hitler's youth there, like.
Oh, I like the Gaeltacht, sorry. You go for the summer. Did you go to Cape Clear? Ilan na Clara?
No, I went to the ones in Meath and in the Midlands.
I went to ones in Kerry and Cork. Yeah,
Kerry and Cork.
Ballybunion had one as well. But it was. Those were great. I mean, the songs, unreal. I swear to God, those songs are unbelievable. And you take any Irish trad, maybe even Republican music, and you compare it to the opposite, whatever songs the Protestants sing, they're shite. Like, you know what I mean? There's some serious poetry in some of that fucking. It's Celtic mysticism. You know what I mean? It's beautiful. I love it.
I honestly don't know if you've been saying, but
Trasna na Downta, Dulshire, Slán listen, Uignis is Slán leis an green. Gala Macri, August Galeon. That's not whatever. You know what I mean?
But the Cayleys were obviously the best.
Unreal.
Unbelievable.
Picking up chicks, Oscuelga.
Yeah.
Nicolini.
On Yeni to Rinklum. I never forgot that.
Yeah.
Cheney August Falsha. Jesus Christ, we should have started off with the Gaeltacht and the Cayleys.
That brought back some serious memories there.
Did it,
yeah, I think I'll go to one of those pop-up Gaeltachts just to hear the language. Like.
I'll come with you to one.
Yeah.
Do you think there'd be Cayley dancing?
I'd love it.
Yeah.
That'd be unreal.
Bring the wife.
She would not understand.
You teach her how to Luska though. Do you remember the Luska?
Is that?
That's the one where you hold and you go around in a circle really fast.
Yeah. That was unreal.
That
is like
magic.
fucking bottom deck Titanic shit, isn't it?
Yeah. But the flag thing, I always thought the flag thing was madness. And like the Buin Benarage, a secret, like they train you like a soldier.
Yeah, I was, they're trying to reclaim back the language. It's a pity what happened to the language. I think they're trying to.
Yeah, well, I think it's definitely doing better than Welsh or Scottish.
Yeah, for sure.
But
I mean, you've seen when you write anything Oscuelga compared to English, it's like fucking 4 or 5 pages longer.
It's longer, yeah.
Yeah, because there's like fucking 14-letter words and shit.
Yeah.
It's madness.
I'm
dyslexic. Like school was absolutely so good. I love school.
Yeah.
But I was confused 90% of the time.
I'm dyslexic too. I had to stay back in when I was 7 because I couldn't read. And I remember school. I remember a lot of school. I remember really enjoying the social side of it. But I do remember being very confused a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And particularly in like writing essays and stuff like that. Just complete confusion.
English class was my favourite class in school then.
My favourite, but it was one I was the worst at.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, that's always the tragedy of it.
Yeah. Loved Shakespeare and everything like that. And then
Sylvia Plath.
And then I'd write an essay and they'd look at it and they'd be like, "That's not even English."
Yeah. What are you doing, man?
Yeah. Anyway, I think Jonathan, what were you there? That's the end of the time, is it?
47 minutes, 48 minutes. So I think. Due to some technical difficulties, we're sort of running over a little bit.
We're running. We'll wrap it up now because Jonathan, just for the listeners here at home, Jonathan is very new to the ones and twos.
It's my first day,
and
I think he did a great job.
He did a great job, but
I
honestly now I know we've done this. As I was watching Jonathan set up, there was 2 memories I had. Like one was I did pirate radio one time, right? Or not pirate radio. I did hospital radio one time.
Hospital radio.
I did it for a while, but I think the second or third show I did by myself. So I did like 6 months where I was training.
I'm still trying to get over hospital radio.
Yeah. So I did about 6 months where I was training with someone, and then I did shows by myself. And on about the second or third show by myself, I went to the hospital. And an hour before the show, I walked around all the wards, going up to people going, "What's your name? Do you want me to play a song for you on the radio?" Yeah. And then I give them this little thing to listen to the radio. And then I went down and I did a 2-hour request show. And at the end of the 2-hour request show, I went to turn off the live desk and realised I had never turned it on. So none of those people heard those songs.
Last dying wish.
And then there's someone and then I was like, I could now turn it on and do the show for another do the show again, but I was just like, I'm hungry. I'm going home. Like, do you know what I mean?
Fuck him.
And when Jonathan was setting up, I was like, that could happen to us today. Like that, none of this might be recorded.
It's a beautiful thing.
But anyway, it's a beautiful. So, Mark, I'll let you have the last word. Edinburgh, you'll go again, or?
I'm going to just do the festival thing for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just it's like a kind of a cop-out way of comedy, isn't it? You just travel and do festivals because you travel to your audience rather than
the audience
trying to
comes to you.
get
Yeah.
good at comedy.
But they're great fun. I think even if you've no,
They are a good thing.
Yeah, they're good fun.
It's fun.
Anyway, that was Tom and Jack having the crack. Without Tom, who's in LA, I'm sure having plenty of crack. It's 2:00 now, so he's probably drinking with a homeless person in a strip club with a woman with an eye patch.
She's getting molested by a Hollywood agent. Either way, it seems like a party to me.
Just finally say thanks to Jonathan on the ones and twos, and
Cheers,
thanks
mate.
for Mark for coming in. And that's a wrap. Thank you.
Cheers.
Jeez, that was a bit of crack now. Fuck it, it's an awful pity we didn't get on to the game.